Hello and welcome to another House of Wisdom video, and I want to be honest with you, this is not a knife review video. There is a knife here on the table, but it's not a knife review video. What it is an everyday carry pocket dump video, and I've noticed on YouTube that this is a phenomenon, so I wanted to give it a spin. And when I thought about it, I thought, who in the world would carry what I carry in my pockets every day? So it may be that way. And in the comments section, you can let me know if it was helpful or not. But the first thing I want to talk about is my wallet. This is the big skinny wallet, and this is the Metro Bifold. They have a lot of different wallets, and I actually modified this wallet. I'll give you a tour of the wallet. This is just a throwaway card that I get in the mail, so it's not really got money on it or anything, but this wallet has 4 pockets. There's 2 pockets, one for your driver's license, which I turned around so you can't get all my data and turn me into the police, and the other one's for credit cards, so you go over there, and then there are 2 more spots here and here. This supposedly carries up to 20 credit cards. I only carry 5 or 6 pieces of plastic in my wallet. The average person, it is said, carries 16 pieces of plastic in their wallet, so I guess I'm not normal at all. And then it has a place for your bills also here. I did a modification. Initially, the wallet came with this piece of nylon as an interior divider for your billfold in here, but it was just in my way, and I can see how it might be helpful for some people if you went between countries and you had some pesos on one side and some dollars on the other, or euros on one side and dollars on the other, but that isn't my thing. So I just turned the wallet inside out and snipped this out, and it made my life a lot simpler and easier. Okay, well, there are different kinds of wallets that Big Skinny makes. There are a variety of sizes. If you needed more interior pockets, there is the World Wallet, which is similar in size to this. The size of this wallet is 3.5 inches by 4 1/16 inch in height, and it's only an 1/8 inch thick. I don't know if you can appreciate that, but this is loaded up with all 6 of my cards, including my driver's license, and then my bills and stuff like that. And I'll show you the thickness of my old wallet. I've always liked nylon wallets because I always thought leather was hard and I want something soft and flexible in my pocket. But this is my old wallet and it's completely empty. And it was pretty thin and small. And this is my new and filled, and it's even a little thinner, even though it's filled with money and cards, than my old one. This uses like a real thin sil nylon like you would have in a tent or something. And this has a thicker matte nylon. So, well, anyway, this is all janky and used up. I used this for years, but I replaced it with this, so I really like it. Well, anyway, it only costs about $20. You can get it on Amazon.com, where I did. And one of the things I like best about it are these thumb hole slots, so you can move your cards out really easy whenever you need to access them. And that's my wallet, the Big Skinny Metro Bifold. The next thing I'll talk about is my keys. Well, there's my car keys, and it has an open and close, and I don't have to carry a key. My car is one of those that you start with a push button, and it has this emergency key unless if your fob dies, the battery on your fob dies, but I don't think you can start the car with it. And then I have a accessory key to my wife's automobile, and then a house key, and basically that's my key ring. One of the cool things on my key ring are these things. These are called ducky line key rings, and if you ever want, like if I go and I need to have my car worked on, I can just go like that and pop it off, and I don't have to get my fingernail in between these things and separate them, because it just goes on and comes off really easy. And I got a box of 100 of them, and I give them out to all my family and friends, and they just make getting your keys off and on a little bit easier. So that's pretty easy. I only have 3 house keys. I have a place in my top right drawer of my desk where I keep copies of keys for my daughter's keys and my son's keys and my wife's keys and my keys, so that whenever they're frantic and they're late for school or work, they can just look into the top right drawer and they know that they can get rescued and get on the way, and that they can look for their keys later. Okay, and then the one thing that is not on the table here, and it is in my everyday carry, is my iPhone, but I'm using my iPhone to tape this episodes, so you can't really see it. It's an iPhone 7 with a regular screen. It's not one of the pluses or the big ones. I like it as small and compact as I can get it. And actually, the screens on the iPhones have been growing, which I'm not a fan of. I like the smaller screen, more compact carry. But the iPhone 7 is nice because it's waterproof. Whenever I was hiking the trail, I hiked it with an iPhone 6. And I had to use a LifeProof case, which it's hard to swipe across the screen and it doesn't follow your finger as well because just the piece of plastic between your finger and the screen. The iPhone I like because it syncs seamlessly with my Mac computer, and it's actually made my life easier and simpler because I have to carry fewer things. Before, I used to have to carry a calendar and a day timer. Now I have it on my iPhone. I used to have to carry a checkbook. Now I have an electronic checkbook on my iPhone, and it syncs automatically with the accounting software on my Mac at home. And it functions as a telephone. It's got my navigation system. I used to have Garmin in the car, and now I just have a little mount that I put my iPhone in, and it's constantly updated, and I don't have to take it out of the car and download the latest software version to update it. So, and it has my work software. I have industry specific for my occupation work software on it that I use, so that's good too. Well, anyway, smartphones are the bomb. The next thing is, what kind of watch do I use? There are internet channels and YouTube channels completely devoted to watches, and my watch is not an expensive fancy watch. It's a Timex Ironman 100 lap watch. Now, the normal Ironmans are 10 lap or 30 lap, but the 100 lap is a little different, and this is why it's different. I'll move over here. It has a chronograph, has a timer, but then the interval timer, you can put different intervals, and so I use this whenever I'm distance training for a race. If I'm training for a half marathon, for example, I do a Galloway training, which means you run for an interval and then you rest for an interval. So basically, say I'll run for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and so I'll have a 5-minute interval, a 10-minute interval, and then a 1-minute interval between every interval, so that I walk a minute between every one of my run intervals, and I'll run a little faster than I normally will. But the idea is that you're never leaving aerobic exercise. People tend to build up lactic acid and let you burn off your lactic acid. Plus, you tend to get injured whenever you're tired, and so I always put that minute in there between whatever intervals I'm running, and I can run 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever I need to, as long as I have a minute between my run episodes. So yeah, it's the way I train for my distance runs, and it's more of a lifestyle thing. The other thing nice about it is it has a nice indiglow light, and you can really tell easily what time it is whenever you're waking up. Whenever I'm on the trail, it's good because you don't know if it's time to get up, because I like to get up right at the crack of dawn and it's still dark, and I don't know if it's 2 a.m. or if it's 5:30 right before sunup. So I like to be able to tell what time it is at night. Plus, sometimes I have to work nights in my occupation, so it lets me know where I am at night. Oh, anyway, that's my watch, nothing fancy. Okay, the next thing, my pen. This is a pen that I like, and a lot of guys go all in for pens. This is a Zebro F301 pen, and this is the 1.6 millimeter. Actually, I like the fine tip in the 0.7 millimeter. This is a little smudgy, I think, and a little thick, and my handwriting is pretty small too, so I need something a little smaller. I like the steel barrel on the pen, and it only costs $2 a pen, and a little less if you buy them in a 4-pack. So I can do that. I think I like it a little better than the plastic pen. It just feels a little better on my hand. Here's an example of a plastic pen, and that's okay. You can get a plastic pen for a dime each, maybe, the cheap plastic pens, but I like having something with a steel barrel, and the clip doesn't break. I've had a lot of plastic pens with clips break. At the same time, it is my servant, not my master. If I were to have a $100, they make much more expensive pens, I'm aware of. One time I had a friend that lost his over $100 pen, and he was frantically running through the area of our work trying to find his pen. Does anybody know where my pen went? And he laid it down. Somebody picked it up, I'm sure. And he was so sad that he had lost his really expensive pen. If I lose a $2 pen, okay, I lost my pen, but it's not a big financial harm, so that's why I like carrying that. It's got a little bit of upgrade, a little bit of class, but it's my servant, not my master. Okay, one of the things that I don't have in my pocket EDC carry is a light. And the one light that I have in my bedside chest is this. It's just a really cheap headlamp, and this is Energizer brand. One of the things that's important is that it has a white light, but then it also has a red light function. And the red light function is if people around you, if you're in camp and you're hiking, the red light helps not to wake them up. The thing I think that's important about lights is to use lithium batteries. They're lighter and then they have a much longer duration, so whatever light you have, use that. This is what I have. And I really don't carry stuff around because there's a light on my iPhone and I'll just flip that on and use that light, and I'm just not walking around in the dark a lot, I guess. Moving on, we have a knife, and this is just an example. This is the knife that I was wearing today, and it is a zero tolerance 0450. It's a very common knife, and it is one of my favorite knives. There's a variety of knives that I'll carry and I'll EDC, and this is one of them because I just love the way that this flips. It's light, it's thin, it has a 3 1/4 inch blade. It's very light. It's got the carbon fiber version. I like the green, zombie green standoffs too. It gives a little pop of color there. Anyway, it's light. It weighs 2.45 ounces, and I just love its flipping action. So it's something that really makes me happy. It's one of my favorite knives. Which brings up a question, what is a favorite knife? I want to give you an example of a knife that I have that I do not under any circumstance carry around in my pocket. And this is the Cody Etzler Equalizer knife. And this is a custom knife. He did this custom bronze finish. And look at that satin finish on the blade. And he's got zirconium thumb studs, pivot, standoffs. And it is just the most perfect, beautiful knife, and the action is just beautiful. The whole knife is beautiful, and this is the only one like it. It's a custom knife. I told him exactly what I wanted, and I said, anodize it one of your favorite colors, and so he anodized it this deep bronze, and oh, I really like it. So I like it so much that I'm afraid to carry it. And I like this one too, but I want to carry this all the time, so there's a psychological problem with me, I think, or do you guys have this problem too? You have a knife that's so pretty and so beautiful and so rare that you don't want to mess it up, and so you don't carry it. But then you have knives that you just love and you want to put it in your pocket and carry it around. So what really is the best knife or the favorite knife? The knife you carry or the knife that's too nice to carry that you just like to think about? Well, leave that in your comments section. Let me know. So basically, okay, that's what's in my EDC Pocket Dump. We have the big skinny wallet, Metro Bifold. Love the wallet. It's thin, it's light, it's simple. And we have my car keys. We have the Zebra F301 pin with fine tip. And we have the Timex Ironman 100 lap watch and the zero tolerance 0450 today. So the basic theme of my Pocket Dump is keep it simple. And I would encourage you guys to keep your life simple, streamlined, and uncluttered, and you'll be happier as a result. Well, that's it for the Pocket Dump. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments section. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And we'll see you on the next House of Wisdom video.